Hey guys, so one of my friends on Facebook, Psychic Junkie Pictures, sent me a note and they wanted me to review their upcoming film. Alright, so I followed the link, I entered the password, and I watched the online screening of the film. So what did I think? They really didn't want me to tell you too much about the plot, so that's fine. Let me just give you the little summary from IMDb. A family is held hostage by a bunch of sadistic home intruders. So what did I think about it? Well, let me start. There was a couple of negatives I had. One was, this is a screening copy, so I don't know if they're still working on this, but one of the issues I had was the sound quality. Of course, the guys are wearing masks, so it's a little hard to understand them, but that's not really a big problem. The other little thing I did have a problem with was one of the performances. Most of the performances are good. There's one performance that bugged me, was the father of the family. Basically, there's a scene where he's supposed to be crying and stuff, and there's no tears, so that kind of bugged me. But the movie's filmed on probably like a micro budget, so the greatest actors probably aren't available. There are a few other little things you can nitpick at, but in general, let me say what I liked about it. And going back to the acting, the one performance I really did like was one of the home intruders in the movie. He's just this big, intimidating guy, and he kind of is like the main character of the movie. He has the best lines in the movie. He plays the role a little bit over the top, but it comes out pretty good in the film. It's like I said, it's a little overdone, but I liked his performance. He had the best lines of the film. And in general, the movie, it starts off the first 5 minutes, they do something really shocking, and the first 30 minutes are complete chaos, but the first 5 minutes kind of get you, then the first 30 minutes are complete chaos, and then from there it goes, you can kind of tell where it's going to go a little more. One thing I really liked, though, was it was completely unpredictable. I mean, the nature of the film kind of lent it to be unpredictable. I mean, you weren't sure what was going to happen at the end or whatever, which I really liked. Like I said, it did go into the shocking. It wasn't overly shocking in my opinion. But the one thing, there's a couple things I really liked about it, and one of the things is I really liked the way they ended this movie. I felt it had, for most of these movies, they don't have a realistic ending. This movie, to me, it had a really sort of realistic ending. I liked the ending a lot for some reason. It was just came off kind of natural, and it's probably an ending that a lot of people wouldn't like, but it's realistic. And then, of course, the director, the maker, gets his little message across at the end, which, it was an important message, so that's a good thing. But the true story of this film is not really the film itself. I looked online after to see the guy who had made this movie, and the director's James Colin Bresic, and he also helped write it with another guy. But this guy's 20 years old, and he's already cranked out a few films. I mean, if you go on his IMDb page, I put it below. This guy's 20 years old, and he's cranked out quite a few films. And even at 20, to crank out a film of this quality, not perfect, but this guy's probably got a pretty bright future. I'd like to see him, in another 10, 15 years. What he's putting out, especially if he gets, better financing, maybe some better scripts and stuff like that. Of course, I haven't seen any of his other films. I'm judging everything on this film, but it seems like, I was shocked when I read that the guy was 20 years old. James Colin Bresic. So you might want to keep an eye out for him. Hate Crime, if you get a chance, check it out. Not too bad. It's pretty entertaining, especially if you guys are into sort of like the shocking type of, horror movies. There's not a lot of blood. Well, I guess there's blood, but it's more of like, the shocking type horror. I liked it pretty much. I'd give it a 3 out of 5 stars, because if you grade it slightly on a curve that, they had such a micro budget, and the one character, like the one actor, does make a pretty good entertaining, role of it. So check it out if you get a chance. I don't know how available it's going to be. Hate Crime. In the description box, I'll add things if it becomes available on video. I'll add annotations or something in the description box if you're watching this at a later time. All right, and check out James Colin Bresic's IMDb page. I'll put that below. I mean, this guy's done a ton of stuff at 20 years old. Jesus. All right, guys, see you later.